Good afternoon. Welcome to the first of 2 lessons on angles. In lesson 1, I will explain what an angle is and show you a few examples of what different angles look like. And then in lesson 2, I will explain how angles are named according to their size and provide you with some activities to complete afterwards. So, what is an angle? Well, an angle is a measure of turn, and an angle is measured in degrees. Let's look at this next screen and I'll explain further. I'd like you to look at the red line. You can't tell at the moment, but there are actually 2 lines there which are overlapping each other, and both of them begin at this point here, which we're going to call a vertex. I'm now going to go back up to the top and move the top line around and have a look at what happens. I'll just stop there. You can see that there is now a space that has been created between the 2 lines. Here it is, and that space is called the angle. And we measure angles in degrees, and this angle is of the size 24 degrees, which means there has been a 24-degree turn from when the top line moved round to where the second line is. I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to stop here. Now, I've just done a quarter turn, which is now 90 degrees. Can you remember from year 3 what we call that kind of turn or that kind of angle? Have a think. That's right, it's called a right angle. Let me continue. If I turn through another quarter turn, I've now turned through 180 degrees, and we call that a half turn. This angle here is 180 degrees, and it is also called an angle on a straight line. Back down I go. Let's do another quarter turn. So here we are again. Now I've moved through a 270 degree angle. So from this line here all the way round to this line here, I have turned through 270 degrees. Now I'm going to do my final quarter turn and go back to where I started. And you will now be able to see that 1 full turn is equivalent, should have seen it then, did you miss it? 360 degrees. Let's do that again. Quarter turn, half turn, 3/4 turn, and a full turn. 360 degrees. So you can practice this at home. If you stand up and face either a wall or a window in the room that you're in, and turn all the way round until you're facing the same direction as when you started, you've just turned through 360 degrees. Let's try another one. This time, face the same wall and turn round until you're facing the opposite wall, like this. You've now turned 180 degrees. If you do that again, another half turn, you'll get back to where you started, 360 degrees, 1 full turn. You can also practice quarter turns, 3/4 turns, anything you like. So here's a quarter turn. Can you find which wall you should be facing now? Right. Let's look at this in a different way on a different diagram. In the diagram, the 2 blue lines are joined at a point here that we call the vertex, and the 2 lines themselves are called the arms. The measure of the angle is the amount that I would need to turn one of the lines to sit exactly on top of the other one. Well, let me show you. So, if I try and move this arm here, click here, I should be able to move this line so it sits exactly on top of the other line, and that is my angle of turn. I go back again, you'll be able to see the same thing. So this is my angle, which is a measure of how much I have turned from here up to here. I'm now going to show you some different types of angles. So the angles here are measured in degrees and have been measured using an instrument called a protractor. You'll be learning how to use a protractor to measure angles when you get into year 5. But if we focus on this first shape here, this shows us that there is a turn of 62 degrees if I wanted to move this line, so it would fit exactly on top of this line, or vice versa, I could move this line to fit exactly on top of this line. You can see that angles are formed in all different ways and different directions and different orientations, and in our next lesson we will look at how we can name the different types of angles according to their size. So let's recap on what we've learnt today. An angle is a measure of turn and it is measured in degrees. One whole rotation or whole turn is 360 degrees, a quarter turn is 90 degrees, a half turn is 180 degrees, and a 3/4 turn is 270 degrees. I hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. Keep practicing those turns at home because you can only get better at them, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.